Hi, Legion. How y'all doing today? I'm here today to review the El Duce tapes. Now, this is something I didn't know existed. I think I was looking around El Duce because I was checking out, he had some lost songs called Karaoke King, where he did, like, funny versions of, New York, New York, and then Achy Breaky Heart. And that was questions about farts and stuff like that. And that song, Maggie, well, but not about my cat. But it was funny though. Not my cat passing was funny. Um, but I heard about this movie, and now what the movie was about was it released through Arrow Home Video. I guess they do oh, what do you want to call it? Like re-releases of different like horror films and stuff like that. Um, but what this was, there was this one guy who wanted to become an actor, and he was in some shows and stuff. And I guess he was in Hollywood. And he found El Duce passed out drunk in bushes outside his apartment. And then he found him. And he started talking to him. And he started filming him from like 1990, like 1991, whenever he was like things got kind of heated. And he had to stop filming. And all the videotapes of his filming interviews with him and the band and stuff like that were like put in a vault, and they were like sealed up in like a storage container, not a vault, but a storage container for like 25 years. And then him and another director took the footage and then made it into a movie called the El Duce Tape, the documentary. Now, El Duce was a part of the band called the Mentors, one of the most controversial band or un-PC bands out there back during the punk movement. And they were popular in the 80s and like very early 90s. But I heard they started in like 76. Now it's like, they were talking about critics saying like the El Duce tapes is bound to be the next Hated documentary. And Hated was about G.G. Allen, but it was nowhere near. It was gross. El Duce is kind of gross, but it was nowhere near as gross as G.G. Allen. G.G. Allen was super gross. He really was. I told Robin that I thought she knows who G.G. Allen is. Oh my! And he talked about the LeVar Theater. She didn't hear about it. I mentioned it on. Well, I actually saw the El Duce tapes Thursday night. I meant to do a video about it, review of it, and I kind of put it off. And I want to make sure to do a video of it now. I saw it on Amazon. I had to rent it. When you rent a movie on streaming, the very first time I personally rent a movie, I remember whenever I did, I gave John the money to rent a movie about my friend Scone did a thing called, what was it, Final Tears Married to Metal. I just did the extended version. I gotta look for that too. But I think it was like $2.99 when you rent something. You have like 48 hours to watch it. And the very first time I personally rented something off my Roku. I've never paid for anything off the Roku before. And like an hour and 44 minutes. And it's basically a documentary. Because I saw they did a documentary about the mentors I've seen like a year and a half ago called Mentors Kings of Sleaze. And I remember I found out about them through Blackest Heart Media, which is underground horror, porno, what do you call porno horror magazine. That was during the underground movement, where you had like tape trading and stuff like that. And I remember buying bootleg tapes of like stuff that's before DVD made things easier to find. But like a lot of like the old Argento Fulci stuff, which are really tough to find on VHS. Yeah, I got copies of along with like the old stuff for Peter Jackson. I remember renting Bad Taste in Fort Bragg, and then by the other ones like Meet the Feebles and the Brain Dead. I kept renting Brain Dead. along with Heavenly Creatures. I got her through Blackest Heart, and yeah, this is a very interesting, fascinating movie. Um, some of the music interludes were very bizarre, though. I liked the movie. Some of it was funny, and then they had interviews with Guar. And they had it was Mike Bishop, who was Beefcake the Mighty, who came back on to Guar to become Blothar after Dave Brocky passed away. You know, but no, with Mentors, I found about them. I was a big fan of the song 40 Ouncer, and I remember viewing that Colt 45 drink that night. You know, and liking it. I had some of that, and I drank the rest of it watching the Mentors, the El Duce tapes movie, was pretty appropriate because 40 ounces is my favorite song for them. And then El Duce said he would drink like anywhere between 4 to 6 40 ounces a day. And he would drink a lot of beer and stuff, and then other taped alcohol. And really a fascinating movie. And then they talked about some stuff I didn't know about, like he started before the Sex Pistols started, and he said like he talked about how he met some of the bandmates and stuff. And they were friends, like him and Heath and Scum were friends since like fourth grade. And he said they were in a jazz fusion, and they tried to do the jazz fusion stuff, but no one wanted, no one that were interested in having them play anywhere. And they decided to be controversial, become the Mentors, which is like I like chauvinistic type music for them. Not all the time, but somewhat. But always done with like tongue in cheek humor. It's not like they took it too seriously, but it was in bad taste, but funny too at the same time, depending on your sense of humor. Yeah, I remember he was on. The only thing I ever bought. I mean, you can listen to a lot of stuff on YouTube. I remember I got a 2 hour um cassette of the Mentor stuff from my friend Sean Smith at Black Shark Media when that was still around. This is way back 92, 93, right? And the only thing I ever bought from I did buy one cassette. El Duce did a solo album called "Slave to Thy Master." I remember buying that, and they played a little bit of that "Living on Welfare" song, which I remember that was in the movie. It's a really interesting film. I'm trying to think of anything else. They had the Wally George stuff on there, and they had mentioned like a thing with Kurt and Courtney. I never saw that movie though, but they talked about it. They said like they found El Duce there, right? And they said that he said Courtney Love paid him $50,000 to whack Kurt Cobain, and he said he wanted to go along with it. And then he didn't kill Kurt Cobain anyway. I don't know how much truth or fiction that was. And this was back when he was like in when he kind of like was just going off doing like really crazy stuff. I think people were taking advantage of him. He would get like super drunk and wasted and stuff. I think he performed a concert Richfield, California, something like that. And then I think, like after they did an interview of like him saying that he paid $50,000, which are in the movie, right? And say, if you give me some more beer, I'll tell you some more. And like 2 days later, he was on the train tracks. He got, I think he fell and he got decapitated with it. And then, I mean, they showed something that the Guar Dave Broggy said like he tried to catch a train with his face, but I thought it was kind of mean. I talked to Spoof about that. I mean, it's kind of I laughed a little, but it's kind of mean. But I mean, El Duce probably would said the same thing about Dave Brocky, when he passed away in 2013. It's a really interesting movie. A couple things shocked me towards the end. They had a female band called the Women Tours, with a female thing. I mean, I don't know, they were different. And there are some videos and tapes of them on YouTube. And there's some music video with like someone singing there, like two guys that have like these dresses. Two people have like these outfits that are like pussy. They open up the flats and stuff like that. Really strange. There's some musical interludes in the mentor thing that's kind of bizarre too. I mean, it's a really fascinating movie though, and the critics liked it. Got really high scores. I think like a 8.2 on IMDb. I think or 7 point something. I don't know, but it's definitely if you like controversial stuff. Still not as gross as Hated though. And I remember mentioning some of the guy who directed Hated, the G.G. Allen documentary, was also went on to do the Hangover movies. I found out about that. 'Cause I didn't see Hayden. I always heard about Hayden, but I didn't see it till like years later. I didn't see it till a couple years back. It was on YouTube. I know Howard Kemp might have been interested in this. I never asked him about the mentors though. He might have been interested in it. Maybe I don't know. But I thought it was a fascinating film. I really liked it a lot. Yeah, I talked to Robin about some of the stuff on there. About the Ivar Theater. I think I might have said. I think I said John the 40 ouncer song. Like I mean, like there's some of the like Rob, I would try to send a 40 ouncer song. I like that song. Not some more chauvinistic stuff. But they had an episode of Shock Rock on Jerry Springer. He was on there along with Guar and Agenda Torturers. And that's a classic episode of Jerry Springer. And I don't bother watching Jerry Springer, but that's one of my favorite episodes of Jerry Springer. Probably my favorite episode, of his. But I give the El Duce tapes a 10 out of 10. I thought it was fascinating. I really enjoyed it. So I hope you like this video, buddy. Till next time, please take care, my legion. It's only $2.99 to rent on Amazon.